Hi everybody, welcome to Mike's Garage. Want to do something a little bit different on this video. Back to once upon a time in Vietnam. I had just left Vietnam the end of 1970 and was home for about 3 weeks, and I got a letter from one of the guys that I was pretty close with over there. There's about a dozen of us that were just tight. That's your family. When you work together, sleep together, eat together, I mean, you're working your ass off with these guys, 12 hours, 15 hours a day. You get a little bit of sleep. You get to sleep in a little bit on Sunday. If you overslept, you didn't get any breakfast on Sunday. That was it. The mess hall was closed. But it was very nice. Here's a letter from Jerry, January 2nd, 1971. About 3 or 4 weeks after I got home. He sent this to my home address, catching me up on it. I'm going to read the letter, then I'll go back and explain the letter, who the characters were in the letter, the other guys there. It's actually pretty funny when you know the story here. But it starts out, "Hi Mike, well, Dunkel and I got Sergeant Dick over to the 90th this morning. Not before him and Dunkel had a few arguments, mostly about playing cards, because we did play a lot of cards. You know the usual comments Dunkel makes and the look Dick gets on his face when he gets pissed off. Well, I've been drunk quite a bit lately, except for me, the damn infection. We've been drinking a lot lately, except for me, the damn infection came back and I almost landed in the hospital again. Instead, I took quarters for a couple of days. Not a bad sham time. I'm over it now, though. 3 weeks from today, I'll take Jim Willie to the 90th, and 4 days later, if there's anybody left, someone will take me, brother. Glad to get out of town. Joe kicked Morse out of the motor pool because he wouldn't do anything. Barry walks around with nothing to do, bruised about it. You know how he is. Here I busted my ass, my balls for over a year, and Sergeant Joe throws me out of the motor pool for no good reason. Oh well. So I hope you're having a good time, as I think you are. Keep in touch," and he signs it Dietz. That's Jerry Dietzman out of Ohio. Appreciate that. 50 years ago. Easy. Okay. Go back through it. Dennis Dunkel was one of the characters that we hung out with. He always had a light bulb in his pocket, and a lot of guys smoked. And so it was, "Hey, guy, you got a light?" He would pull out a 25-watt light bulb. I sure do. So a lot of guys got pissed off. Some guys laughed. It was pretty funny. Always had a light bulb. Sometimes the light bulb broke in his pocket, and that was a real mess when that happened. Okay, the 90th, where they took Sergeant Dick. Sergeant Dick was the parts guy that worked in the motor pool with us. He was my right-hand man. I mean, he had all the parts, everything you needed, 2 of everything. So you always had the parts to get the vehicle turned around, get it right back up working again. Sometimes guys from other motor pools would come and borrow parts from us because Dick really was on top of everything. He knew just what to do. Okay, the 90th was where you went to get transportation out of country, or that's where you landed to come in country. This is the 90th Transportation Battalion. They flew you out of there. They came, picked you up. You had a drop-off point. They checked you in. So that's where you went to leave the country, the 90th. Okay. There was a lot of drinking went on. A lot of guys did marijuana. There was a lot of cocaine. There's no secret about that. There was a lot of drugs easy to have over there. Dietzman had an infection. He had some kind of a fungus infection, and they had him on some kind of steroid. I don't know exactly what it was. I really didn't care to find out, but he kept having a relapse with that. So he had to take it easy. Jim Willie was another guy. I think he was from Mississippi. He was a good mechanic, fun guy to be around. Had a lot of the same interests that we did, liked to play cards, so that's why we hung out. Barry Morse was one of the other mechanics, real hard-headed guy from Maine. He always gave you a hard time about doing anything. Why should I have to do it? And so him and Sergeant Joe was the guy who took over for me when I left the motor pool. He worked with us together for about a month, And then when I left, he was the only guy in charge, and Barry refused to work for him, and so he threw him out of the motor pool. And you could do that. And if you didn't get in your good graces and get back in, and the colonel found out about it, you were in another unit somewhere. And sometimes that was the wrong thing to do, the wrong way to handle it. So that's the letter. Really tugs at your heartstrings sometimes because, like I say, these were the guys that you bonded with. These were your brothers. And when they say about the military brotherhood, that's it. You got each other's back. You're there to protect each other no matter what happens. And that's the kind of stuff. I was really happy to get the letter at the time. I don't know what happened to Jerry Diesman. And like I say, he's in Ohio somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed the story, enjoyed the letter. I did put out an earlier video asking if you have a story that you want me to tell. If you have pictures with it, I'll put up the email address here. Send me the email of your story. The guys here will help me go over it. Right? I'm getting nods. They don't like to talk on camera. We'll go over it, and we'll tell your story. Put your pictures up if they're appropriate. Just make sure it's a PG kind of a channel. We don't want anything off color. So appreciate it. Look, thanks for your time tonight. I hope you enjoyed the letter. Be safe out there. Take care.